Good morning students. Come back to our international finance class. Today I am going to discuss with you the topic internal and external balance of the economy. First of all, we discuss about what is the meaning of internal and external balance. What is internal balance or internal equilibrium? An internal equilibrium is achieved at the full employment and a stable prices. If there is an inflationary pressure or an unemployment, the economy will require a further adjustment in prices or a move towards the full employment output level, or it is the full employment level for internal balance, achievement of mild inflation and lowering unemployment rate. That is the case for internal balance. And in a product market, internal balance being occurred by Y equals 1 minus B plus M, which is equal to A plus I of R bar plus G plus X. What is B? B is the marginal propensity to consume and M is the marginal propensity to import. This is the equilibrium condition in the product market. Equilibrium condition in the product market. And X is the import level, export level. Then G is the government spendings. I is the investment which is depends upon the interest rate. Okay. Then in the money market, MS, money supply, which is equal to I function of R plus KY. So IR indicates a liquidity balance. I of R, which is indicates a liquidity balance. Then KY is the transaction balance. KY is the transaction balance. This is the money market equilibrium. Okay. Then so the internal equilibrium is attained when the output is at the full employment level. Output is at the full employment level and there be no unemployment. And an increase in G means government spendings, shifts the IS curve to the right. Increase in the government spendings shifts the IS curve to right and thereby raising the interest rate. Then moreover, because of the economy is fully employed, real output cannot be increased beyond YF. YF indicates full employment level of income. Thus, an increase in government spendings increases inflationary pressure and thereby raising the domestic price. So, what is its consequence? Its consequence is LM curve shift to left. LM curve shift to left. Thus, along the internal equilibrium curve, government spending and interest rates are directly related. That is, in order to maintain the full employment rate of output, any increase in government spending must be accompanied by a rise in the interest rate. So, government spending and interest rate being directly related in case of internal equilibrium curve, rise in the government spending may accompanied by the increase in the interest rate. This is the internal equilibrium case. This is the graphical representation of our words. Then internal equilibrium that is IS curve indicates goods market equilibrium curve, and line indicates money market equilibrium level, LM curve. Then YF is the full employment level. Okay. Then a shift in the government spending that may leads to rightward shift of IS. This is the showing point. Then that may leads to backward or a leftward shifting of LM curve. And reaches a new equilibrium point as E dash. New equilibrium point is E dash. Okay. So, an increase in the government spending may lead to increased interest rate and LM being shifted to backward. That is, IS curve shifted to rightward, that is IS shifted to IS dash. Then LM curve being shifted to backward, that is leftward, then LM shifted to LM dash and creates a new equilibrium, that is YF, which is above the earlier equilibrium point, and thereby a rise in the interest rate. Then we move on to the external equilibrium. An external equilibrium refers to a balance of payment equilibrium of an economy. Which is external to the economy. So, in an open economy, it achieves an external equilibrium. Output is not necessarily at the full employment rate. As government spending increases, output Y also increases, which in turn creates a current account deficit. To offset this, under a fixed exchange rate system, the capital account has to improve, which can be realized by an increase in the interest rate. So, which leads to an exchange rate allows to move freely, and the market will be find an equilibrium value of E. Thus, an external equilibrium which requires a positive relation between government expenditure and interest rate. A positive relation between government expenditure and interest rate. This is the graph of external equilibrium curve. And this is the combined graph of external equilibrium and internal equilibrium. Okay, what we see in it? In the internal equilibrium, below the internal equilibrium level, there is inflation. Or in internal equilibrium, above the area is inflation, and downward area, below area is unemployment. Okay, you just see that in the above of internal equilibrium line, the economy faces the problem of inflation that we marked on inflation and inflation. Okay, then in the below part of internal equilibrium, there is unemployment problem. Okay, then in an external equilibrium, below the area is deficit. Okay, deficit. Then above the external equilibrium curve, there is surplus. Okay, so there are 4 zones first zone is in the internal and external equilibrium, whole equilibrium below points, there is deficit unemployment and surplus unemployment. Deficit unemployment and surplus unemployment. Above the both balances, deficit inflation and surplus inflation. Deficit inflation and surplus inflation. If we mark these 4 points as areas as zone 1, 2, 3, 4. First zone is deficit unemployment and second zone is surplus unemployment and third one is surplus inflation and fourth is deficit inflation. These are the 4 levels of economy's circumstances if the economy doesn't attain both balances. Okay. Deficit unemployment, surplus unemployment, surplus inflation and deficit inflation. So along external equilibrium curve, the economy achieved a balance of payment equilibrium and the official reserve transactions balances is 0 and there is no need for the government to do anything to delay changes in the exchange rate. And above external equilibrium curve, government spending increases, trade deficits and hence balance of payment deficit arises. The government has to borrow money from foreign central banks or use up its international reserve assets to defend exchange rates. And in below external equilibrium curve, there is an surplus create surplus and there be more benefit to the economy, so there be no special policy to reduce that surpluses. That is good for the country. Okay. And next we move on to the assignment problem. Assignment problem. What is the meaning of assignment problem? In order to achieve internal and external balance, there be need of a proper policy assignments. There be need of a proper policy assignments. Apply fiscal policy to attain internal balance and apply monetary policy to attain external balance. Balance means equilibrium. Okay. So, apply fiscal policy to attain internal equilibrium and apply monetary policy to attain external equilibrium. If the assignments are directed in this way, monetary and fiscal agents will attain both balances, internal and external balances. Otherwise, they may move away from the simultaneous equilibrium. That we already see that simultaneous equilibrium point. Okay. Simultaneous equilibrium means achievement of both equilibriums, internal and external balance. So, a fiscal policy which is good for attaining internal balance and a monetary policy is good for attaining external balance. If the policy assignments be in accordance with this rule, the economy may attain simultaneous achievement of both balances. Since in 1990s, Federal Reserve Banks, that is Central Bank of United States, achieved the interest rates in order to achieve domestic equilibrium. And then United States have no exchange rate policy and allows exchange rates to respond the changes in the market. Then latter policy, it doesn't guarantee the balance of payment equilibrium due to exchange rate manipulates in some countries. China and Japan, they manipulate their exchange rate. So the US economy not get the full results of this interest rate variations. This is the assignment problem. E curve shows E curve shows external equilibrium line and IE curve shows internal equilibrium curve. And the red ball, which indicates a simultaneous achievement of both balances, external and internal balances. And if the economy being on this point, this green point, if the economy which will uses an expansionary, there be two policies. G is the fiscal policy, government spending, and R indicates monetary policy or rate of interest. If the government being, so there in this point there is only economy only have the internal equilibrium. And in order to achieve the external equilibrium, that is in the yellow color, if the economy or the government reducing their expenditures, that may lead to achievement of external balance, and the economy doesn't get internal balance. And in order to get the internal balance, the economy will choose a tight or an expansionary monetary policy that may leads to diversion or there be divergence of the simultaneous achievement of both balance. That means this is the wrong selection of policies. That is, from this point the economy will move to in this path, the economy will reaches at the end into the simultaneous achievement of both balance. So instead of taking an reductioning of government spending, the economy, the policy initiatives that be on choosing a tight monetary policy in order to achieve external balance, and using in order to achieve internal balance as expansionary fiscal policy, that may leads to final simultaneous achievement of both internal and external balance. That means if the economy is selecting to achieve external balance, to changes in the monetary policy, and in order to achieve internal balance uses fiscal policy as a tool, and this type of policy assignments may lead to an overall solution to the or the simultaneous achievement of both balances. And in order to, from this point, in order to achieve the external balance, there may be increasing of interest rate, that is monetary policy as the tight monetary policy. And in order to achieve from this point to achieve internal balance, there is government spend more, that is expansionary fiscal policy. And again, in order to achieve external balance using tight monetary policy, again to achieve internal balance as expansionary fiscal policy. And this selections, that means monetary policy for attaining external balance and fiscal policy is attaining internal balance, and this selection being right assignments, and at the end This type of assignments of policies will lead to simultaneous achievement of both balances or both equilibrium. And this type, that means a tight monetary policy along with the expansionary fiscal policy that may create a converges to the overall equilibrium point of the economy, that is simultaneous achievement of both internal balances and external balances. That is the right assignment of policies. And first we discuss about the wrong assignment, that is we use attaining external balance is by selecting the fiscal policy, and attaining internal balance for selecting monetary policy, and that is not a good assignment or a right assignment of policies. That is the wrong assignment that leads to divergence from the overall equilibrium point. Otherwise, we choose the opposite of the policies that may leads to the convergence of these overall equilibrium point. So this is the assignment problem. So in short, assignment problem just mention about what policy should be assigned for achieving external balance or achieving internal balance. That is the proper selection of policies. If the authorities select a proper policies, that is for achieving internal balance or internal equilibrium, authority chooses fiscal policy, and for achieving external balance authority chooses monetary policy, and this may be the right selection or a right assignment of policies. Okay, so we may conclude that in this session we concludes about we discuss about what is internal balance, what is the external balance, and how to attain both balance by our assignment problem explanation. So thank you students, and this is the important one. You may ask questions about what is assignment problem in a two-weight or a one-weight question. Okay, thank you. Study well and score a high mark. Okay, thank you.